all important questions. And I'm sure there's a host, another large list of many other questions we could ask as well. But those are so vital and so important because you want to make sure whoever's taking care of that individual does have that knowledge. Now, can you tell us what's the differences between hiring someone who's private or using Comforcare services?
Sure. Private, which is a popular way for people to hire for a lot of reasons.
Right.
Private, you don't know who you're getting in the house. It's usually, oh, somebody knows somebody, or this person cared for my, for my loved one, so maybe you want to look into using them. But when they're private, you don't necessarily have the ability to check into their backgrounds and credentials the way we just talked about, the way we talked about what we're doing. Nor when they're private do they get ongoing training. We're a licensed agency here in the state of Illinois, and as part of our licensing credentials, we have to provide ongoing training for our caregivers. That's anywhere between 8 and 12 hours a year. We do more than that. So we assure they're getting ongoing training where individuals don't get that training on their own.
So your staff, ongoing training, it's just monthly, weekly, yearly? Is it just all the time? And
Yes.
what are some of the other things that you cover on that training?
Sure. It's monthly to quarterly, depending on where that individual is in relation to the last time they received training. It could be more often. For example, we do get a case where we feel more training is needed. We'll put the chosen caregiver through training in our office before we staff them on that case. So that's kind of the as needed on the as needed basis. The training basically covers many of the issues that face our seniors today. Focus on the chronic disease and conditions, and we do that via video training, computer module training, or live speaker educator training that we bring in and have them actually present. And there's always proficiency tests at the end that need to be passed.
Awesome. So, so they're taking written tests to make sure.
That's
So
right.
if they don't pass that, they're not passing.
They're not passing
It's
our
not a
grades.
passing grade for you.
That's correct. That's correct.
Well, that's very good to know, though. Now we know that as Comforcare employees, do they work for the state of Illinois license? Do you follow the regulatories and all the licensing, credentialing, and all of that?
Well, they're responsible to keep their own credentials up to speed. We check to make sure, and we of course have a database that tells us when the credentials are about to expire, so we know when we have to send them back or remind them that they need re-credentialing. The bigger issue with the state interaction is that we obviously are responsible for taxes. So they're legal in that sense that their payroll taxes are being paid. And a bigger issue for the actual recipient of the care is that we carry workman's comp insurance. So if that caregiver is injured on the job, we have workman's comp insurance. They're covered by that, as opposed to turning around and asking for compensation from the recipient of the caregiver, or even being sued.
So they're subject to lawsuits, potentially, right?
Correct,
right.
and that's always a danger.
Well, it's good to know. So basically, they are hired by you.
Correct.
By the company. Now, how do you go about assigning caregivers to a client, for example? I know you mentioned it earlier, but talked a little bit about it earlier, but I want to go back to how the assignment, how are they put into a home and or partnered, I like the word partner, partnered up with a potential client? Sure.
Well, the first thing we look for is the compatibility of the skill set to the individual who will receive the care. So if it is a specific disease or condition that needs more attention than others, we will take from our list those that have advanced training in it or substantial experience with it. From that point, we're very happy to have the person who will be receiving the care meet the potential caregiver. So we can always arrange a meeting, and that's a no fee meeting. We bring the potential caregiver over for basically an interview on site if you want to do it that. If the receiver of the care wants to do it that way, and we see how the personalities mesh. We don't want to put an over gregarious caregiver in the home with somebody who doesn't want to talk much. So we look at it on multiple levels and basically find the right background, training, and then personality.
So you try to partner up the client with someone obviously who they're going to get along with, and you're going to try to work that out. Absolutely. I do want to provide some information on particularly to your company. So in the services that you're providing, with any questions that folks who are watching, or viewers who are watching, can give you a call directly. Jeffrey Bacher, president of the Comforcare Senior Services, and you can be reached directly at 773-313-3895. Again, area code 773-313-3895. which is where they can get a hold of you directly should they have any questions and or concerns.
Correct. And we man, the non-emergency line is manned up until about 10 p.m. every night.
Okay.
So people can call after work as well.
Oh. So if I was to leave today and, God forbid, I broke my leg on the way home,
Let's hope not.
I can give you a call.
Anytime.
So, again, can we talk a little bit? Let's go back a little bit, and I want to let our viewers know, again, it's for housekeeping, some of the service that you provide. Let's reiterate on that.
Sure. Companion and personal care is what we call it. And it can be anything from as simple as household chores, meal preparation, light cleaning, companion services to take someone to and from doctor's offices, or just someone to be with you during the day if you're alone and you want companionship, all the way up to what's more hands-on, feeding, bathing, if you need help toileting, transitions, grooming, all the way up to that level.
Wow. What is the process to explore care with Comforcare?
Sure. Well, all of it is it's a very simple process. You give us a call. We like to talk to you for a little bit over the phone, get to know you a little bit so you're comfortable with us more than anything else. At that point, if you'd like to meet with us further, we come out, and again, it's no obligation to come out and meet with the client potential client face-to-face, take a few more notes, see how you're doing, and if you want to use our services from that point on, we bring out a registered nurse to actually do a full case assessment at no charge to the client.
Okay.
So we have a very extensive assessment process that we do. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half, filled out by a registered nurse, and from that we draw up the care plan.
Okay.
At the same time, you can meet the prospective caregiver. Hopefully, you like the person right off. If not, we'll bring in somebody else, someone else to meet.
Right.
And then we just basically set up the service. So there's no obligation anywhere along the path until you want to set up the service.
And I know that one of the things you're willing to do, and your staff is willing to do, is you'll meet anybody anywhere they want to meet, wherever they're comfortable at.
Yes, and it's not uncommon for us to meet if the person is actually going home from the hospital. It's not uncommon for us to meet in a hospital, in a home, or in the individual's home themselves. That's completely up to the individual and the family.
That's fantastic. I do want to remind our viewers, again, for services provided by Comforcare Senior Services, and for anyone who may need these types of services at any age, you can reach Mr. Jeffrey Bacher, President of Comforcare Senior Services and Services in General, at 773-313-3895. Again, that's area code 773-3895. That is on your screen. I also want to take a minute here just for a second, and I want to talk a little bit, I just want to mention, before I forget, that the annual health fair that we're doing, we just had one this past weekend, and we were so excited about the turnout that we had over 500 people in attendance. It was fantastic. And on Manheim Road in Melrose Park, with Gottlieb Memorial Hospital co-sponsoring that event at Continental Furniture over on Manheim Road, and provided many, many services. Our next event's coming up on July 10th, Saturday, and it is a free community health fair. It's our annual health fair over at 2719 West Cermak Road. And this is in Chicago from 10 to 2. Screenings will include blood pressure checks, cholesterol checks, diabetes testing, dental screenings, foot screenings, blood pressure, glucose screenings, with free meters to the first 50 people who test high with a high glucose level. Immunizations for kids up to the age of 18 years, and please bring your immunization records with you. HIV testing for those who would like to get that. In addition to that, we will have representatives from the All Kids Enrollment who will be there to answer questions and enroll should you need assistance with that, and a host of other things that it's going to be happening. Again, that fair is scheduled for Saturday, July 10th at 2719 West Cermak Road here in Chicago. Just wanted to make sure we took a little time to mention the upcoming health fairs.
Sounds great.
And we have a big one coming up in August as well for the Back to School Fair at the Ravenswood Center over in Ravenswood and Wilson of Advocate Illinois Masonic Hospital, in which we will be providing back to school physicals and dental screenings and immunizations and a host of events, raffles. We're raffling bicycles and helmets for kids and all kinds of things. So this is something that we reach out and constantly give to community, providing a much needed service. So I want to go back changing gears here, back to you. What if you can leave our viewers with one important message? What would that be?
That you need to find, if you're going to use home care, you need to find quality care. There's a lot of companies providing this care in the Chicago area. You want to find one that is licensed by the state of Illinois. It's a state of Illinois requirement the last year and a half or so. There's a lot that haven't had started without licenses, and they have yet to be audited for licensing. So right now, some are operating sketchy. It's a little sketchy on the licensing. Right. So you want to find one that's licensed, that provides training, that hires the right people, and does the right amount of work to make sure that the person in their home that will be working in your home is the same kind of person they'd want working in theirs.
Absolutely. So I tell our viewers, for anyone who are looking for these types of services that are made available, and there are all kinds of organizations and companies that are popping up all over the place. This is just one of those services. And for cost and or what's this going to cost for these types of services, again, I do recommend that you contact, and let me give you that number one more time, is that you can contact Mr. Bacher at Comforcare Senior Services or Services, and you can reach him at 773-313-3895, and he can give you more details on cost.
Can I point out something with the phone number? I'm just noticing something. That phone number is actually the fax number.
It is?
Yes, the phone number is, I'm sorry, this phone number is 773-313-3894.
3894.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right.
3894.
Okay. So again, that number is 773-313-3894. Again, 94. Thank you for that correction. And if not, you can always call Hispanocare at 773-296-7157, and we'll be happy to put you in contact with Mr. Bacher. So meanwhile, in closing, for most of us in the world, home evokes warm feelings of comfort and well-being. For older adults, home is a place where they spend time with loved ones and feel secure. Their home is where they are surrounded by their favorite things and where they have created cherished memories. Thank you for Comforcare for being here with us today and sharing this much needed information and these wonderful services that are available to everyone. So for more information, you've got our number. On behalf of Illinois Masonic Hospital, Hispanocare at Gottlieb Memorial Hospital, thank you for watching. Until next time, we'll see you soon.